Friends, welcome in the almost finishing part of Christabel, a little bit longer poem. We are doing today from line number 239. So let us start. We are doing from 2 to 6. And thus the lofty lady spake, all they who live in the upper sky do love you, holy Christabel, and you love them, and for their sake, and for the good which me befell, even I in my degree will try, fair maiden, to requite you well, but now unrobe yourself, for I must pray, ere yet in bed I lie. So here that lofty Lady Geraldine spoke in the chamber of Christabel. They are there. Oh, and Geraldine says to Christabel that who live in the upper sky. They who live in the upper sky means godly, heavenly powers love you, and you do love you, holy Christabel. And here we may see that Christabel is given somewhat sacred and holy characteristics, and you love them. And Christabel, you too love them, the gods, and for their sake, and for their sake, and for the good which me befell, even I in my degree will try, and I for their sake, and for the sake of good fortune that befell me, I would try my best to do some good to you. But now you should undress yourself. Here Geraldine tells Christabel to undress herself, for I must pray, because she wishes. Geraldine says that I want to pray for you, so you should undress yourself. As for me, because I must pray before I retire to my bed. Before I go to my bed, before I sleep, I would like to pray for you. And there, quoth Christabel, so let it be. And then Christabel readily accepts the command or the instruction given by Geraldine, because she is all in her innocence, cannot recognize the evil in Geraldine. So let it be. So she agrees and obeys the commands given by Geraldine, and as the lady bade, did she, and as the lady commanded her, she did the same. Her gentle limbs did she undress, and she undressed her gentle limbs. And lay down in her loveliness, and after undressing her limbs, she laid down in her loveliness, in all her beauty, but through her brain of weal and woe. Here we are proceeding, line 239. But through her brain of weal and woe, so many thoughts moved to and fro, that vain it were her lids to close. So halfway from the bed she rose, and on her elbow did recline to look at the Lady Geraldine. Christabel, after agreeing to obey her commands and instructions, undressed herself and lied down in her bed, displaying all her loveliness. But in her heart and mind, so many good and evil, weal and woe were passing through her mind, and she found it difficult to close her eyes, and it was very difficult for her to close her lids, her eyes. So halfway from the bed she rose, and she partially and suddenly rose from her bed, and halfway she rose and reclined herself on her elbows to look at the Lady Geraldine, to look towards Lady Geraldine. Beneath the lamp, the lady bowed and slowly rolled her eyes around, and beneath the lamp, the lady bowed, that Lady Geraldine, and slowly rolled her eyes around. Kneeling under the lamp, Geraldine slowly rolled her eyes around. Then, drawing in her breath aloud, like one that shuddered, she unbound the cincture from beneath her breast. And as Geraldine rolled her eyes around, then she noisily drew her breath in, like a person's, like the persons who were trembling with fear. She untied her belt from under her breast. She untied the cloth, her cincture, the belt from beneath her breast, her silken robe and inner vest, and she slipped down and put down her silken robe, her silken dress, and her undergarment as well, inner vest, slipped down to her feet, exposing to full view her bosom and half her side, and she exposed her full view and her bosom and half of her side, dropped to her feet and full in view. Behold, her bosom and half her side, and Geraldine perhaps could see her bosom and half her side, a sight to dream of, not to tell. And it was an unimaginable, it was unexplicable, undescribable sight of her, which can only be imagined, which cannot be told. She was so bright and glorious in her naked, a sight to dream of, not to tell. Oh, shield her, shield sweet Christabel, and we can only wish and pray for Christabel to be well guarded from any harm, and what impending danger lurks on her, we can only pray for her. Oh, shield her, shield her. So, friends, this is gonna to be, this is going to be towards the crux of the story, where we can see how Christabel has fallen a prey to Geraldine, who is an evil, and Christabel, in all her innocence, could not recognize the ill intentions of Geraldine. So let us do the next and final lines in the next video. Thank you, students, for listening me. Thank you.